Hello, my name is Margaret Adele and welcome back to another Indie August video. And this one isn't a review. I had originally intended to do more general videos on indie books that you didn't need to know about a specific book for. But then I kind of got caught up in I have to catch up and maybe a little bit lost it. So for the last week, I'm diving back into it and we are going to talk about some of my favorite indie covers. Now, for the most part, most of what I read indie-wise are self-published, so most of the time the author has very direct control over what the cover is, and I love this because you get to see exactly what the author had intended their book to look like. Now, sometimes you can get iffy covers. I might do a least favorite covers video, but that feels a little bit mean, so if you really would like that, let me know. But for now, we're going to stick positive, and these are the covers that I love. And let's jump right into it with Nightmare Arcanist by Shami Stovall. Shami Stovall is very quickly becoming one of my Insta-buy authors, or rather Insta ask for a review copy authors. And this is the second series that she started, a YA flintlock fantasy all about a young boy who really wants to become an arcanist, also known as kind of like a magician in their world, to bring up his family's fortunes. And this cover is delightful. I love this cover with everything. Now his Eldrin, his magical creature that he connects with is not the Phoenix, but the Phoenix plays in, hence why this all. And this, I believe, is meant to represent the hero that he must take down for his misdeeds. And also, at the end, there is an explosive part with a phoenix. So this is very well done. And also, I'm very excited. In the next month or so, I will be getting up a review for the next in the series. I don't have it yet, but look at that cover. She knows what she's doing, Shami Stovall. I gotta give her props for that. Next up is a more recent cover, but that caught my eye immediately, and that is Songbirds Reckoning by Jillian Maria. This is a queer YA body horror with some thriller elements, and you can pretty much tell what all of this is supposed to be about just from the synopsis. This is about a young girl who is basically trapped by this mysterious evil woman in a cage, and she starts slowly growing feathers, and it's kind of a race to stop the curse before it kills her. Now, as you can see, there's the girl in the cage, and I like that it doesn't focus too much on her. Like, this could be any model. The point is that she's in the cage. The cage is actually more of the focal point. And then as you can see up here, there's a lovely mysterious blind woman that kind of plays in a little bit in the story. But in general, this cover should look busy, right? It should look like so many things are put together, but it's done so well. One of my favorites. The only problem is that when I was trying to do a bookstagram picture for this particular shade of like reddish orange, it was so hard to find colors to match it for the picture. I ended up not having any because like I didn't have any blankets or any background cloth to put behind it that would match that oranginess. But I like orange, so it's fine. Next up is a cover that I've seen pop up on my timeline a lot, even before I got the book for review, and it's just all the time. All the time it catches my eye and makes me stop, and that is Monstrosity by Laura Diaz de Arce. Laura actually gave me the physical copy after I'd already read and reviewed the e-copy because I just loved it so much, and I keep, telling everyone to go read it. And I like this because, I mean, this is a short story collection based on what it means to be a monster. So like, it's hard to find any specific general themes, and there's just something about this very creepy face with the black eyes, and it's beautiful but also disturbing, which is kind of what the book is supposed to be all about anyway. And I love that. And seriously, like she does the hustle, she does the posting it at least once a day, and it will make me pause on my Twitter scrolling whenever I see this picture pop up. So now that I have a physical version of it, I am in love. Next up is an ebook that I read, but this cover did its job. I first saw this on BookBub in the email, the daily email with the deals, and the minute I saw this cover and the fact that it was free for that day, I was like, yes! And that is Our Bloody Purl by D.N. Bryn. If you follow me on Twitter, you know about this one because I cannot shut up about it. This is a steampunk pirate story with so much diversity put in. The main character is, I believe, either non-binary or genderqueer. It's steampunk, and so therefore a little bit in the past. They don't necessarily have the terminology to use. There's an FF relationship. There's a relationship between two asexual characters. There is a undercurrent or undertone of disability rep, and I am in love with this, but it all comes down to that cover. Look at it. It is bright and vibrant, but also kind of spooky and intimidating, and it's just perfect, and I love it so much. Now you might be sensing a theme here in that I don't necessarily dislike covers that have the main character staring at you, but it's not generally my thing in a book because I usually fall in love with more than one character, so I don't need the main character to be the one on the cover. In fact, I actually prefer ensemble type stories where there's a lot of different characters. And books have yet to pull a movie poster and start just putting everyone on there. And so my number one pick relies both on a large cast of characters and a cover with none of them on it, and that is Tavern by Destin Munden. And it is so hard for me to show off this cover on here because of the lovely ring light and everything getting in the way here. I might just have to put up a picture or something. Let's try it. Is this working? Is this better? I can't tell. But I love this cover. I love its simplicity and that it is literally just a door to a tavern. And in the book, the physical tavern doesn't play as much of a role, but the whole concept of a tavern is supposed to be symbolic. It's supposed to be this idea of everyone has a tavern, a person or a place that makes you feel like you're home and you're wanted. And the main character, an orc named Zelnath, in this slice of life D&D fantasy, his tavern, his physical tavern, is everything to him. Now, there is, I don't know if you can see it, but around the circle there is little runes and stuff. And I am genuinely curious if those say anything. I know that Destin specifically sought out a specific artist for it and wants to continue using that artist for other books he publishes. So I am looking forward to what comes next with this. I think this could be a lot of fun. So that is it. All the indie covers that I love. I think indie covers get a really bad rap. And yeah, there are some weird ones. But in general, I think indie designers have really kind of found their own style. They tend to shy away from models because having a model that's not a stock photo tends to be difficult. So they tend to be much more abstract and artistic. And I love that. I have found more indie books whose covers I love than non-indie books because they're trying harder, to be honest, in most cases. Now there's one or two traditional books that did intrigue me. I think Wilder Girls was pretty decent, but for the most part, I just like indie covers more because it's a direct reflection of what the author wanted the book to be rather than the reflection of what someone in the publishing house decided the book should be. It's much more here's how the author wants you to view their book, and I love that. So if you're interested in more indie content, please, please, please subscribe. Indie August is almost over, and I didn't get out nearly the amount of general videos that I want. It was much more review heavy, and I should have one more coming out before the end of the month if I'm working hard, but I will do more indie content in general. So if you're looking for another chock full indie month, come back here in December where we're going to have in December, and I might have some what feels like right now to be outrageous plans, but if I have my way, you will be seeing a lot of me in December. So, with nothing else to say, I hope you have a wonderful day and a marvelous tomorrow.